The Virgin Islands Caribbean Cultural Center is nestled inside of the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences here at the University of the Virgin Islands. And we are based on the Albert A. Sheen campus. However, we provide services, programs, research opportunities, exhibitions, and much more on all of the University of the Virgin Islands campuses. And we do have a very strong tie to the Virgin Islands and wider Caribbean Americas in terms of programs. So it's an interesting inquiry to speak about the origins of the VICCC, because the Virgin Islands, and even in its Danish West Indies manifestation, and even before that, has always been about culture, heritage, indigeneity, traditions, mores, social customs, and much more. So the Virgin Islands Caribbean Cultural Center had an opportunity to be pro-established, and I'm really specific when I say proactively established. So we say pro-established because there's several of us that have roots in the Caribbean that desire to bring our skills, talents, and expertise to this work. And I would be remiss in ignoring that some of the impetus comes from, former professors here from the Virgin Islands, like Dr. Lesmore Emanuel, Dr. Jean Kenneth Emanuel, Dr. Marva Sprague Brown, and others. I want to make sure I highlight that, and others that were very specific about having the vision and the desire to support the nurturance, the protection, the respect, and the authentic narratives around Virgin Islands culture and history and more. Here in II St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, Water Island, the neighboring isles. There's like Sapelo, Norman. There's so many isles around the Virgin Islands, and I will focus on II St. Croix for a couple of reasons, because this is where I reside. This is the home space, so I'm able to really kind of to promote and serve as serve as a catalyst. When we talk about preserving or strengthening historic preservation sites in our II St. Croix Virgin Islands Caribbean, it looks like exhibitions. It looks like strengthening partnerships with schools, and I need to be specific. While we're based at the University of the Virgin Islands, it is not only for the University of the Virgin Islands community, it's for our pre-K, K-12, post-65, everybody. The intention when we talk about culture is to make it look like what it should look like. It should be integrated so that we can have some artistic expression, some cultural exchanges. We talk about multicultural. It's more like it's transcultural, because we are transforming our humanity as we navigate through these really beautiful tapestries of very rich treasures of culture, heritage, and more. So the beneficiaries of a space that supports culture, heritage, education, arts, and that fusion, because in that fusion, it would be everybody. While our focus in certain programs, of course, are around cultural heritage research, publications, and learning how to archive in some of the social sciences, as well as humanities and other disciplines that are connected, so that you can actually see like a practical example of what does cultural heritage education look like? How do you present that? And is it only having lectures? No, sometimes it might be using and creating innovative games in cahoots. It might be something that you do in terms of your own creativity and innovation on YouTube or Vimeo. It might be a social media campaign. It might be storytelling. All of that is inclusive. Of course, it incorporates dance and music and culinary arts. And it's also opportunity for us to spend time understanding the environment that surrounds us, because all of this cultural heritage research and education and artistic exchanges, they have no value if we're not able to live here because of environmental issues. So there's a culture of business, culture of research, culture of environment how do you handle climate change or global warming? It's a variety of ways, and it helps a little bit of everyone, young and not so young. We have a very good relationship with organizations that provide specialized training for us, as well as we provide cultural competency training for them, for persons that have developmental disabilities and other types of engagements. So it's inclusive by practice, not just inclusive so we can just say we're into DEI and diversity and equity and inclusion. We actually provide culturally enriching, culturally sensitive, and culturally sustainable resources. When we're doing any type of culturally enriching activity, the Caribbean becomes the center of the planet in a lot of ways. So many of our collections, range from pieces that we've been able to acquire from other parts of the Caribbean, Central and South America, based on different conferences or programs, or prior to this current state of Earth affairs, we were able to go to these sites, engage with different artisans, see how they are actually preparing their textiles and or their materials for the actual art collections that we started to pull. And then persons started donating. That's the part that I have to say, that's where the shared humanity piece really is central. When persons heard that there is a Virgin Islands Caribbean Cultural Center, and that there is an attachment, and that it's actually within the Academy of the University of the Virgin Islands, it became a very communitarian amount of sharing. Persons provided us, again, not everything was free. I don't want to make it seem like everything just came and it was donated. With fair exchange, and with programs that, as serving as the director, I had the opportunity to go to certain programs and artists, well, can we donate this to the VICCC? And we document certain things clearly. Certain families wanted things to be housed here because they were small artifacts, and they wanted to make sure that they were properly, assessed, appraised, etc. And then we've had partnerships with a number of organizations near and far, the Society of Black Archaeologists, Virgin Islands Developmental Disabilities Council, National Park Service, University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras, University of the West Indies, Cape Hill, Barbados, and now a host of other universities, corporations, non-governmental organizations. We work with a number of not-for-profit organizations regionally, and that includes, CARICOM-related organizations, United Nations and UNESCO-related organizations, and our intention has been to, at first it seemed we were just focusing on Caribbean Studies and the Caribbean Studies degree program, which is happening parallel to this. Then it became, well, we need to have students that are prepared for anthropology and sociology and archaeology, and those areas that we do have some coursework for, but we don't have full programs. Then we started doing interdisciplinary studies. And then it expanded to persons saying, well, we have to now teach these museum studies, these archival and informatics types of training, so that we have persons that are homegrown in the Virgin Islands able to curate and able to exhibit and do these things, with the state of the art. So that ties into the relationships that we've had from our inception with the at that time, developing National Museum of African American History and Culture. And we were really pleased to be part of that opening and be part of that engagement. So persons don't realize that the VICCC does a lot of things lateral as well as vertical. Probably diagonal. But we're like, our intention has always been to integrate arts, culture, and heritage, whether it's through research, education, exhibition, creative, cultural creatives, activities, to really be part of that creative industry. Yeah. If money were no object, I would love to see entities like the Virgin Islands Caribbean Cultural Center at UVI properly engaged with facilities that allow for a state-of-the-art exhibition space, a state-of-the-art performance and production space, and a state-of-the-art museum that allows for, because many families have collections that they want to know that they don't have to send them to the Schomburg, or not that the Schomburg isn't excellent, but they would like a portion of their collection right here in the Virgin Islands. And I would love to see the development and the design, a very creative design, a very respectful design. I'm going to say that again, a very creative and a very respectful design. We have the architects and the contractors that can design and build it for us right here. We have curators that, persons that have traveled from here and have come back here and just have not been able to return into that sphere for a variety of reasons. It would be great for us to take our homegrown scholars first and to do this homegrown version of what that cultural heritage reservoir space would look like. It has to have some water. It's almost as if we're creating an amusement park that is grounded in the rich cultural heritage of the Virgin Islands and this wider Caribbean connection. It would be, yes, I'd love to see the villages that are places where persons can reenact and see how Taino life was, or Igneri life, because we've got Siboney, we've got a lot that we can share. I can remember Takali Village was a concept of the Honorable Ancestress Leona Brady Watson, and she had the design, the ideas, the structures already in place. And I'm not sure where that concept has gone to, because it's been over 25 years now. But it would be great to see, setting it up so that we do celebrate the diversity and the richness of the culture of the Virgin Islands, through networks, whether it's, again, with the VICCC providing our skills, talents, and expertise, but also connecting that, with the Virgin Islands Cultural Heritage Institute, the We Grow Food in St. Thomas, of course, St. Croix Farmers in Action, and those agricultural-based Sage Art Farms entities, art farms, bringing all of that together so that when we talk about this cultural space, that people will come from literally around the world to come see these World Heritage level sites. We've already proven ourselves just on St. Croix alone to be selected as a National Heritage Area. And again, we just have some political shenanigans that need to be cleared up. It would be excellent to incorporate all the different organizational entities I've mentioned, a number of the not-for-profit and non-governmental organizations here, to be able to have that umbrella. It's getting tired. It's so 20th century to have this agency that deals with libraries and archives in one unit, to have this agency that deals with cultural education in another unit, to have this agency spread out with the outside of the Department of Tourism to address things that are around culture that do benefit tourism, but should be housed in we should have a Ministry of Culture. If we had a Ministry of Culture and then all of these other elements and units that do their areas of specification, we would soar. I would love to see that. I would love to see that.